Okay, YouTube, hello, welcome to another episode of Expert Reviews. Here we have a battalion Bourrasque. I really shouldn't have tried to roll that B, but there you go. Okay, so this is a replay from Watch Replays, and it ended up with a Colorbanos medal. It was a Bourrasque, it was a tier 10 game, so I thought, hey, let's have a look. That seems fine and dandy. Bourrasque getting up to top speed here, 62 forward. You got 23 in reverse with a 25.77 horsepower per ton with that 310 horsepower, this is millimeter, horsepower engine. Certainly a mobile tank. Though top speed is decent, it's not insane, right? And does this make me nervous? Let's look at the enemy team, because he's come over here to the east of the map, and what you see ahead of you, especially in a tier 10 game, frankly, in any game above tier 8, or tier 8 and above. Why do I say that? Because at tier 8, light tanks. Wait, there's no game sound? Okay, I'm back. Good work, chat. So, anything above tier 8, because at tier 8, that is when light tanks can start using a CVS, or Commander's Vision System, which I could wax lyrical about why the Commander's Vision System is bad for the game, but for practical purposes, in this circumstance, it makes light tanks that much more deadly when you're trying to contest them in foliage-laden land, in heavily forest-based land. But if we look at the enemy team's lineup there, there's no light tanks, so I wonder if that may have been a factor in this guy's positioning, because he's come over here very quickly without hesitating. And I think he probably has binos, probably has vents, maybe utilizing a CBS. I didn't look at the start. But that's got to be a factor in you coming over here, because otherwise, what you got? You got a Bourrasque with you, an Iron Army, an Object 140, an FB. What are you expecting over here? A TVP? A T44? Yeah, I'd say coming over here is very viable. You've got 390 meters of base view range, so it's not the best on a tier 8 medium, but it's certainly not the worst, ploughing forward in this bush line. One thing that could be of note as we're over here and talking about medium tanks in general, I mean, back in the day, medium tanks were all about doing the wolf pack and flanking your opponents. This tank is very much not like that. Part of that reason is because of the merits of a two-shot autoloader. It's very ambush-orientated. Even more so, you can argue, than something like a Blackshot or 5100, which are themselves very ambush-orientated tanks. When you have two shots, it kind of emphasizes that aspect of gameplay that much more, because you have such a small exposure time with only 2 seconds between the shells on this vehicle. And whereas the 5100 and Batchat's got 2.73, as does the 5100, Batchat with 5 shells, 5100 with 6, your exposure time is a huge factor in those vehicles. But it's not in vehicles like these and on things like the Czech heavy tanks, as an example. And this is a bit of a quandary, right? You're missing a Chieftain T95, you're missing a T44, you're missing a Mod 1. Now, the annoying part here is you got this AMX moving up here. Obviously, 720 damage in a clip, 360 per shell with your 2 shells. You're missing exactly the tanks that you expect to be over here. So what can we read into this right now? Well, what I read into this is that this Chieftain T95 is in a platoon, right? He's platooned with the Renegade and the Gonzalo. The Gonzalo and Renegade has already been spotted. The Gonzalo over there, the Renegade over here. That implies to me that the Chieftain T95 is likely to be on this side of the map. It's not a certainty, just an indication. However, these two are platooned and are still unspotted, so I would expect them somewhere over here. And that means at this point, I don't feel comfortable progressing. At this point, I have to be patient because I think making an aggressive play in this circumstance is likely to get me killed. So in the meantime, let's talk about gun stats, as we're sitting here, as I've just noticed, with 36 shells of APCR. Now, APCR doesn't give you much help when you're talking about a batch out because both its standard and premium shells are armor-piercing composite rigid shells. It's just that the standard have 190mm a pen with 1000 meters per second shell travel time. Ooh, and the premium have 240mm a pen with 1250 meters per second shell travel time. 53mm a pen on HE with 900 meters per second shell travel time. 5 rounds per minute gives you a basically loaded 21.54. Ooh, with 0.42 accuracy and a 3.5 second aim time. And you feel quite a bit of that in the Bourrasque, but you can see between shots the gun doesn't balloon out ridiculously, so you are quite likely to be able to get those 2 shots. If you, generally speaking, if you hit the first one, you'll hit the second in the Bourrasque. I don't know if that's been other people's experience, but certainly has been mine. Now, a major misstep by that AMX there, got shot in the side by Bourrasque, and frankly, this is something that everyone should be aware of. If you take a hit and it's a Bourrasque, you're going to take the second hit. Just as a rule, like, you've got to accept that. If you get penned in the side by Bourrasque, you're not going to suddenly teleport around and be showing your thickest armor towards that tank. So what this guy should have done is just gone, ah, shit, and just taken the second hit. Instead, what he did was he turned towards the Bourrasque after the Bourrasque had already put his second shell into him, and as a result got absolutely flambitated, doided in the side by the Ionani and presumably the other Bourrasque. And I'm guessing, let's see, does the FE have a kill? No, he didn't, but looks like it was just the Ionani and the Bourrasque. But yeah, poor decision making on his part, and something we should all be aware of with these 2-shot tanks. If you take the first one, act as if you're going to take the second. And this is lovely to find no Foch 155 above you in this position. Certainly his position on the map did indicate a certain passivity, and I don't know why you would fire that shot. 0.42 accuracy. You are not... Oh, are you going to go for the boost? I mean, ambition lacked entirely ability there. That was a frankly pathetic attempt to climb up that avenue. But now you've got to wonder a little bit where this Foch 155 is. Spots the Chieftain in the middle. Gonna go for the second one. Oh, no. And there you see the 0.42 accuracy, 3.5 second aim time, rearing its ugly head. And I suppose, is there merit? Hey, Twitch chat, you can enlighten us. Do you carry HE shells in your Bourrasque? For those Bourrasques, those Waffenträgers, those rare opportunities where you get pummeled 2 HE shells out. Oh, GW Tiger, 2 clips. Alright, interesting. Gonna get the second into the side of the GW there. Takes his head off. Beautiful stuff. Takes one in the here from the mod 1. Okay, what can we say about this circumstance? Where's the Foch 155? Where is he? He's taken down... Okay, he's in the town. Alright, that's helpful. Because at this point, you've got people on the high ground here. You've got the Chieftain T95, but that's the only multi-level engagement that the enemy have here, short of the Waffenträger repositioning here. So at this point, I think it's viable to charge round here. And who do you target when you charge round there? Probably, I would target the mod 1. I would not put any fire into this guy. Why would I do that? Well, because when you are presenting an alternate angle, right? An alternate angle for your team. And in this circumstance, going in a Bourrasque against 2 tanks, when you can't clip either of them, you are inherently relying on your team at this point. Relying on this Iron Army and the Bourrasque. Now, when you look at tanks like this, Iron Army is a bit slow, but Bourrasque is very responsive and very happy to jump on opportunity. So I'd expect support at least from the Bourrasque, although as I look at it, it looks like he'd be going out there, so I may have died doing this. But yeah, coming in behind, I would focus this guy because he is closer to my team. Let's look at it logically. If I attack this guy, not only am I more exposed in this land, but this guy can relocate to help him without moving towards my team. He can make it a 2 versus 1 without including my team. However, if I engage this guy who is closer to my team, not only is that land more suited, there's more cover preventing this multi-level engagement with the chieftain from coming in and being a factor, but now if they want to make it into a 2 versus 1, this guy has to come towards my team instead of this guy coming away from my team. So that's what I like. I like to use my mobility to say, okay, if you want to make this engagement with me, you have to compromise position. So that's what I would focus on doing right now. We shall see. Oh, that was sexy. Okay. I didn't see that coming at all. That's lovely. Okay. Eyes on the map right now. You've got a Bourrasque coming down the back. Patience, 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 patience. You're going to get a clean shot. Do not waste them. He should turn and either go for the Bourrasque. Okay, now I... Okay, 1. And does get the second. Beautiful. Beautiful. Stays on high ground. Stays on high ground. Can we talk about that? So many people. Peabody, are you in chat? Are you in chat? You remember the moment that I was talking about, that I'm talking about here, right? Mister, let me win the hill. Let me win the hill. And then abandon the hill so I can reload! Like, one of my favourite Peabody moments. He wins the hill in an AMX 1357, and then, after he's killed the enemy tanks on the hill, gets off the hill so that he can reload safely. So that was a perfect example of this Bourrasque not doing that. Right? Instead of falling back here, knows his position is valuable on the high ground here. It was difficult to get up there. It is easier to go from high ground to low ground than low ground to high ground. So he keeps this powerful position. Good positional play. So, let's see. You've got potential to flank. Going through a 21.54 second base. When you load, Bourrasque picks up 1, should pick up the second. If not, Iron Arnie's going to do it. Absolutely lovely. What are we missing at this point? We're lacking in knowledge of the 5120, oddly enough. A 5120 at this stage has not been spotted. You've got to assume he's on the hill, right? At this point, the most likely position for that guy to be is on the hill. We're getting into some foliage here. And let's see, we've got a base camo of 19.27, side of a Farsh. That is 50mm of armor, I think. And... okay, oh no, I thought it was a one-shot. I thought it just low-rolled terrifically, but that's beautiful work into the side of the Farsh. Oh, and you do love to see the side of the Farsh. And I remember back in the days when you could overmatch it when it was at ridiculous angles. But again, ambush plays. This guy isn't aware. Gonna get 1. Are we gonna get the second? Take your time. Yes, you are. 695. Get the old 6-9 showing up there. Absolutely beautiful. And this is exactly the situation you want to be in a Bourrasque. You want to be targeting people who are distracted, saving your hit points. Use the hit points of other people to wrangle damage, if you like. And this is a situation you don't want to be in. And yeah, is it worth waiting? It's probably worth waiting because you would pick up a chance at a shot, but yeah, he's not going to give you that chance. So when you load, cut your losses. That's a perfect example of a situation that is toxic as hell to the Bourrasque. You've not got a lot of hit points. If you are trading 1-for-1 in any circumstance, you're doing it wrong. It is not what you want to be doing. So 19.27% base camo goes from the upper plate there with 240mm a pin. Mildly lucky, I would say. Yeah, 3.81 after firing and getting spotted there does get him a shot in the side on the Chieftain T95. Luckily, it's not a Chimera, would have wiped him off the face of the planet. Artie's got to go down. Victor 120 has appeared, picking up 1 kill, but he's got no health left. Okay, so let's just conclude the camo discussion. What is it? 14.48 base camo on the move and 2.87 after firing on the move. So undoubtedly, the Bourrasque can be a very stealthy tank. I mean, it's an ambush predator, isn't it? Are we going to nail this climb again? Should do. As I say, 62 forward. And to be honest, do I like this play? It's difficult. At this point, in a Bourrasque particularly, and in all varieties of tanks, you want to consider the isolation of your opponents. And right now, if we're looking at this map, the people in the middle, people you don't want to go for, are the AMX M4, this guy, the Foch 155, right? People where enemies could potentially exploit your reload after you pick up a kill, or where they could be popping up in unexpected angles. When you are closer to the edge of the map, it's essentially putting your back to a wall. Right? If I back into a corner of the map at the end, I know the enemy can only come from this angle in front of me, from there to there, because I have walls behind me. As the further I move to the middle of the map, the wider that angle becomes, and the more angles I have to worry about. So in this case, when we're outnumbered at a disadvantage, we want to pick up stragglers first. The stragglers in this circumstance are the Chieftain T95 and the Victor 120. They are the furthest people away from the more complicated areas of the map. They are on the edges where we can deal with them without other people getting involved. So certainly Chieftain T95 is a viable target to be going after here, in my opinion. And by the looks of things, his team are coming with him, which you like to see. Do excuse me. Okay. So he should be able to take out the AMX. Oh, will he? Maybe. Maybe not. He's anticipating getting a spot here, which... Okay. Perfect example by our Bourrasque of exactly what I was just talking about, right? Going into a situation where it's crowded, there's multiple angles. You could see he went after this guy, potentially could have killed him, but got taken out by the AMX M454. Because, as I say, it's a complex area of the map. There's lots of angles. It's when you don't want to be, particularly when you are outnumbered. But now at this point, 390 meters of view, and as I say, Iron Arnie goes down. We are 1 versus 5. And that should be a clean kill shot if you want to take it. Oh, it's agonizing. Doesn't get spotted. I'll remind you, base camo 3.81. So that Foch 155 certainly doesn't have a massive amount of view range. Okay. Stealth up. You take 1 kill here, then go for the Chieftain. Okay, go for the Chieftain. You've got to go. The composure. He's still not spotted. Or does he not have sixth sense? Am I just losing it? If he wasn't spotted for that shot, that is some that's some filth right there. Flush on the way. I don't think you're gonna get this shot. Oh. Goes for the snapshot, but doesn't have much time to waste here. Okay, gotta relocate from the mid right now. Gotta relocate from the mid. What's the base camo on the move? 14.48 base, so keeping you safe from the AMX above you there. Enemy team not investing in view range, and that Foch doesn't have any cap points, so missing that shot would have troubled you. And I don't know about investing in it because it's giving you a lot of pressure now. Do you come from right? Do you come from mid? Okay, relax, all the time in the world. All the time in the world. 0.42 accuracy. Through the truck. Gets the defender medal. Okay. AMX M4 54 on the enemy team is on 7 kills at this point. Okay, do you go Hill here? I mean, this is a funny kill, but it's questionable how much you want to stick around in this land. Okay, that foliage right there, I'd be banking on that concealing me. As I say, camo goes down to 3.81. I'd be banking on this concealment providing enough additional camo that if I fire through it at the turret there, he doesn't actually spot me. So we'll see. I'm 90% sure most of him not getting spotted has to do with more luck than judgment. But that certainly is a circumstance where I would have said, okay, I'm going to bet 70% that I won't get spotted taking this shot. He says, I have feckin' G50 camo, they can't see me. Well, yeah, it certainly seems that way at the moment. Now, this is a troublesome circumstance. You've got to think... You would normally say that the AMX has the advantage here. I've got to assume he can take one, right? That hit pool kind of makes me think he's around sort of 400 health, maybe. I don't probably a bit lower. It might well be a one shot. But in this circumstance, it's 7v7, the fight for the Bradley Waters medal here. Who is at the bigger disadvantage here? You've got to say it's the AMX. Just because he didn't spot him moving earlier about 400 meters, so we know he's probably not working with a huge amount of view range. He can't cap. If you cap in this situation as the AMX, you just lose. Your best chance is to try and be somewhere surprising. Wait, you see at the top? Oh, you mean the gap above the sub-goal? Oh, I do apologize. I'll fix that in a moment. But yeah, the AMX is at a disadvantage here. Your best bet at the AMX, as the AMX, is to try and hide somewhere surprising. What I might do as the AMX is I might go here, in this corner where he is, and literally just sit at the back here so that he couldn't proxy spot me on the corner, and so that if he just comes blazing down there, I get the free kill. Because anything else is a major disadvantage. Anything else, apart from getting into the mid, where you force him into a close quarters engagement. From the point of view of our Bourrasque player here, he wants to stay in the open and just wait for the opportunity. Okay, 500, you've got bush concealment ahead of you. Clean shot, won't be spotted. Oh, the health at the top! Oh, okay, I'm being thick, chat. I'm being thick, never mind. Okay. 8 kills. 8 kills, 5,400 damage, 1.5k spotting. What a lovely performance in a tier 10 game. A lot of very nicely judged maneuvers in this game. A lot of decisions that I admired. I think just based on this gameplay, alone, I would estimate this guy to be somewhere between a 57 to 60% player, somewhere like that, would be my estimate, but I have no idea. Wonderful gamer, wonderful game, very much enjoyed that, so thank you very much, and if you would like to see your replay covered by me, send it to replays.wallst@yahoo.co.uk, that email will be in the description, but yeah, other than that, have a wonderful day.
Peabody, cheers from Germany, man. Thought I'd hide a couple silly verses, my friend. He is a nice guy like Ned Flanders, but wielding a band hammer that make viewers feel him like a gang member, yeah. You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you